Welcome back, everybody. Wow. First of all,
Yeah,
new episode of The Lookout. Very special week in The Lookout. I mean,
yeah.
we're doing this. We haven't done it for a while. If you were around during the genesis of The Lookout, you kind of know everything that's going on.
Hmm.
Um, if you're not, be ready to be taken on a ride for quite a couple of days. But we have to say, first of all, new listeners, if there are any new listeners, my name is Meelz. I am here with the Platinum Chanel boy himself, Jeff.
Yeah. What's up, man? How you doing?
We are here to bring you the last part of this entire summer at Kame House thing. I mean, we're
Yeah.
packing up.
It's time. It's time, man. We got to get back home, man.
We got to get back home. We got a new season. Well, not season per se, but we got a new era that we're jumping in pretty soon. Over maybe the next month or maybe next month and change. You should be seeing, and of course you can hear all the construction in the background that happened on my side of the island.
Of
But
course.
over the next month and change, we'll definitely be jumping back into the whole Dragon Ball Z world, which we're very excited to. We've got some plans for that. But with this, we figured we'd give you guys a special surprise, especially considering all the great stuff that we got for season 2 of My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody to our 4-part. I want to say 4-part. You know what? I'm saying 4-part now, and it's going to be 4.
Yeah. Once you say it doesn't matter, we're done.
It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. Our 4-part series on My Hero Academia season 3, a surprise. It's going to be My Hero Academia week. On the lookout. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be special. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You'll get brand new episodes of the lookout. You'll be able to binge them on Friday if you haven't been able to catch up. We're going to give you that day to sort of catch up and do all this other thing like that. But we'll be talking about it throughout this entire week.
Definitely.
So just be ready. I mean, season 3 is such a special season. And I think it's probably the season that probably wrapped me in closest out of all the seasons thus far. And I'm very excited that we get to talk about it, because normally we kind of take a major break before we get to talk about new seasons and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Now we're jumping right back in. We're right back into the My Hero Academia world. It's amazing. It's special. I love it, man. Season 3 of the show. So much action.
You've really pushed me to like fall in love with this series and the characters and everything that has to do with it. I think it's so good, and I can't believe that it took me so long.
Well, listen, it's a fabulous series. A lot of people are very, how do we say? I don't know. A lot of people are into it. Everyone feels something. It's a testament to the series. It's so many people are so into it and into all the characters and have all the 49 million characters that they have. Everyone feels a special connection to exactly their own. The manga is in a place where it's amazing and it's at the peak of everything right now, so everyone's kind of tuned into what's going on there. But season 3 of My Hero, first of all, we're also going to be doing this season, we brought a lot of guests to Summer at Kame House,
which has been amazing. It's
been, Ricochet, Cyrus,
a
Sachi,
classic Summer
and so much more. Even Jamal stopped by from time to time, and he even popped in Kaya and everything. But we're doing this solo. We're riding solo. We're packing up. We're getting everything ready. But you know what? We have to start off season 3. We have to start off this thing. And My Hero Academia, they love themselves a good clip repackaged show. And that's kind of how season 3 kind of starts. It starts in a very interesting way. I like personally the way it starts. It may not be for everybody. But
it's definitely for guys like us.
Yeah, where the drama is so high and it's so much on a tenfold, you kind of got to reset and reestablish everything. So they decide to start off, a good anime related clip show where both the professors of Class 1A and Class 1B are like, we got to make up this summer camp syllabus, something along those lines. Well, let's revisit all our students' quirks. Well, Kaminari has electrical quirk, and he can do this, that, and the third. And
you know why it happened this way? Because
of course
they want to make sure, if people are just getting into this series, hey, here's some information real quick in case you just missed these past 2 seasons.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is dope. I love it. I love it. It's cool.
It's and meanwhile, all the while, Mineta and Kaminari themselves are devising a very pervy plan to use the school pool
per usual.
And don't get me wrong, I think it's a great plan, just in general. I mean, not a great plan from the pervy side.
I know what you mean.
all props involved. They head to Deku's house, and it's like no one would believe. It's like, it's Deku. They always their suspicion will be off because if Deku's going to use it, they're not going to assume that we want to use it, etc. So they invite
right.
the Mineta and Kaminari over here that all the girls want to use the pool in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, oh my god, we got to figure out how to get in that day. Who's going to make us least suspicious out of all of this is Deku. If we bring Deku, so Deku's,
of course,
he's 100% a prop in all of this. But the prop completely backfires once they get to the actual pool area, and then they see every other male student there.
Already,
and
it's too late.
They think that the girls are going to be in bikinis and two pieces and all this other stuff like that, and they're 100% in like very adequate swimming attire. I assume.
Yeah. Very appropriate.
It's a
for the most part.
I like this episode. I'll say this, and then of course you get the races between everybody, sort of the males in the class. They're able to use their quirk. Let's see who's the fastest. Let's see who's able to use their quirk. And before everyone kind of gets to the point where it's like Todoroki, Bakugou, and Deku, who at the front of their class. I mean, just in general, they were at the front of season 2 in terms of just the 3 strongest in the class with using their quirks and able to sort of master all of this. And we got to think, okay, who's going to win this one? Will it be Bakugou? None of them are swimming, by the way. None of them actually swim. No. I think actually maybe Deku swims, but he kind of just uses all for one to propel himself. But, they're cut off by Mr. Aizawa, and it was like, yo, pool time's over. And it's like, well, you know what? It was a fun episode while it lasted. I thoroughly enjoy these type of episodes.
And I know that like you said, they're not for everyone because it's a season premiere. And because of that, I think people expect, drama immediately or the plot to begin to thicken already, but in My Hero situation, they do such a good job with character development and making sure everyone knows who's who. And I think it's important for hey, if you want to jump in on this show, later on and then go back and watch the first 2 seasons, I think it's okay to do that. And I think you'll be fine with that. And so they make sure going in, there's always some nice, hey, this is this character's personality, even though we've been developing it for 2 seasons. Here it is in season 3. It works still. Boom.
Yeah. Boom.
And it's cool. It works. It's really nice.
But meanwhile, in the first episode, back at the ops, the police are on the trail for the League of Villains, and All Might's down for action. And they are like, listen, we're hot in their tails. We don't know where they are since, the attack in, I already forgot the season 2 cities' names. I want to say it's the Camino Ward, I want to say. Since the attack there, they've been, building up a lot of intel on where the League of Villains are and who's in this camp and everybody like that, and the Nomu and everything like that. So they've been building up their intel. Meanwhile, League of Villains, I mean, we saw it at the end of last season with the
we're getting into it now.
Yeah, the induction of Dabi and Toga into the League of Villains. They're building up a team as well. They can't be like season 1 where they get a lot of unknowing goons who get pretty washed pretty easily, especially by kids who don't even know how to use their powers yet. You can't have that.
No, you cannot.
We need better. We need
I feel like
the best of the best.
Yeah, and a thing that is a testament to the series is at this point I feel like it was hard to take the League of Villains they've taken some L's, man. They haven't been the strongest, scariest, most successful group yet. Everything is kind of shined on the development of the kids and, the outside characters, the teachers and stuff like that. And this season is, again, I'm sure it's one of the reasons why it's your favorite as well, is they really start to dive into the villains. And that is it's perfect for me because sometimes when you got villains in series and animes and whatnot, that you don't get the full story. They don't want you to know the full story per se because it's about the main protagonist. And to me, especially with anime and the things that we watch, the antagonist is, just as important. And this
Yeah.
series shows that shit so well, man. And that's why this is one of my favorite seasons.
100%. I mean, every good anime, as strong as
You got to.
the protagonist is just going to be a protagonist. Shonen
Yeah.
protagonists kind of all follow a similar format.
Right. We know about it.
But it's really sort of the antagonist that kind of puts things in reference and put things into perspective. When you have
Always.
good ones like a Frieza, I mean, we talked about it a couple episodes ago. We talked about Pegasus kind of being an underrated one. We talked about it a couple episodes ago with Isabella from The Promised Neverland being another one that, and these are, you talk about Frieza, you talk about Shigaraki, you talk about Isabella, you talk about Pegasus, and they're 4 different characters completely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
4 different kind of shows of the spectrum and all of that, but they still have such a major impact on the actual show. And what they're able to bring is what essentially, is what we're able to get out of the actual protagonist of the series, or we're able to get out of a Deku or Emma or Yugi or anybody else that you mentioned, a Goku or something along those lines. So it's very important to have a good cast of villains, and we will be talking about the League of Villains because they do have quite a squad on them.
They do. They do.
But we will be getting into that. But first of all, we have to head over to summer camp. Summer camp. This is I would like to say it's the summer camp arc. They call it the forced training arc.
They should have called it this. They could have called it the Wild Wild Pussycats arc, and I would have.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's whatever.
Oh my God. Have you ever been to like sleepaway summer camp?
No, I have not actually. Yeah, it was never a thing. I don't know if it. Maybe. Well, I'm not gonna say. Maybe it's a. I don't really even friends. My black friends. That was never really a thing. Yeah, I mean, at least that's just my. The way that my experience with it. Yeah. Like, I mean, I would stay over my friends' houses all the time. Weekends and stuff like that, sleepover shit. But a camp. Nah, I never experienced that. I just my first time going camping in general. You already know. We recorded some episodes while I was camping a few months ago. So yeah, man, no overnights at summer camp, man. I used to watch Bug Juice a lot though.
Bug Juice, there we go. See, listen, of course,
I did watch Bug Juice a lot. I lived through them, bro.
Oh my God, there was mad drama going on.
It was really some like real world for kids type stuff.
Yeah, yo, Disney was on one.
They really were.
What parents are giving their kids away for a reality show?
Man, those waivers had to be deep, dude.
Oh my God.
Different times though. Different times.
100% different times. I mean, for everything that's going on in this arc I don't want to say it's the reason summer camp thing. Yeah. I only say that because this is a fictional show.
Right.
So everything is kind of, heightened, amped, et cetera. But I mean, for reasons like this, I'm not sure if I would send my kids to summer camp as well. I mean, them kind of being away. I think everything that they kind of got.
Yeah, no.
They were highly understaffed going into the summer camp. I still don't know the reason why.
Okay, so I'm with you on this, especially after the attacks, right? So even though, hey, this location is supposed to be secret, nobody knows about it, as a matter of fact, All Might's not even invited because, he's a target, blah, blah, blah. Because of all these reasons, regardless, how are they this understaffed with this many kids?
They're probably like, oh, we got to protect the actual school and stuff. No, if you're going away to somewhere else and it's like, yes, they've changed the location, we've made sure it's secure, we got the Wild Wild Pussycats,
right,
et cetera,
who are good, who are OP, like they're dope.
Fair. Yeah, they're fair. But you got like 40 kids.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep up with. They're all in like these. I mean, we're gonna obviously discuss what happens, but like in this episode is it's a lot of kids in a lot of different locations, and then let's not forget, like, we're gonna talk about Coda. This man is just like has a hideout nobody knows about. It's like, what is going on? Like, this is 100%. Really a dangerous situation.
It is wild, but summer camp is in session. It is hosted by Mr. Aizawa of Class 1A, the teacher of Class 1A, and Mr. Vlad King, the professor for Class 1B, Vlad King.
Is he Russian? Is Vladimir
Nah,
Russian?
I don't know. He might be. He got an interesting quirk where
Yeah,
he's
he
able
does.
to kind of like manipulate his blood, and I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if that's. I don't
Okay,
know if I got
whatever.
enough blood to do that. I mean,
Right.
I mean, he's a pro. He's a teacher. He's A1, so
Mm-hmm.
he's doing his thing. But they both decided that listen, due to the massive presence of villains, due to human society seemingly beginning to crumble and show some cracks, they need to prepare the best set of students that they can offer out of this damn school, out of UA High. So they are trying to cram in a whole second semester into one summer.
Yeah.
If I were a student, I'd be like, yo, I ain't signing for this at all.
Nah, that's not fair at all, bro. It's not fair.
Class 1C chilling. I'm sure they're using the pool. I'm sure they're doing all types of things. I'm not sure if I'm with it, but it is what it is. They attempt. I mean, the result ends up being hell on earth for all the students involved. And I don't know how Class 1B is doing, but Class 1A, they reached sort of the top of a mountain and they're told to like get off the bus.
Yeah.
And from there, they meet the Wawa Pussycats.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Wawa Pussycats, by the way?
I kind of gave you guys a sneak peek of how I feel, but I think they're cool support. A cool support system as far as the characters are concerned. Like, I don't need to dive into them to the point where they're one of my favorites. I wouldn't say that, but visually, I think they're dope. Like the design is cool. I think it's a little goofy, but we see that a lot with My Hero. They're lovable. Fun quirks. I think it was a nice way to introduce them and not like overdo it with, hey, here's 3-4 more people for you to, they gave us just enough information for us to be familiar with them without them having to be on the forefront of the series. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We have Mandalay, whose quirk is I mean, all of them, I think, have great
Oh,
quirks.
man. It's really cool. Really cool.
Mandalay has telepath, which means that she can kind of communicate with anybody in a certain amount of distance. Which
that is
incredible.
it's so sick.
Pixie Bob has earth flow. She's able to manipulate the earth and kind of craft it into whatever these type of things, which is used in this hell on earth thing as the students have to pass through a forest to get to the campsite, and she is the one creating all of these giant earth-based monsters that they have to fight against. So, I mean, it's clear why what happens when it happens to her. We got Ragdoll, who has search. She's able to find anybody that she wants. If she knows you, she's able to find you.
What is this?
She's able to find you.
I want to know, like, how do they even come together to become like, hey, your quirk works with my quirk. Let's form a team. And they're really. I mean, it's a good situation. Like, you would think, okay, yeah, they're understaffed, but we have these heroes with these specific quirks. This will be okay. And thinking about it in that way, I guess I could see why they felt they were secure. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Especially like Ragdoll search. It's like, okay, if one runs off, we're able to kind of find where they were. And then I'm also able to tell them, like, yo, where are you?
Right.
Are you safe? Et cetera, et cetera. We'll come find you. Final one of the Wawa Pussycats tiger was Playa Body, who's able to kind of stretch. It's a very Fantastic Four-esque type of
Yeah, it is.
It's still cool. Fantastic. Yeah, still cool. You're able to stretch his body and all types of things and contort it in a bunch of different ways. The students, they're like, listen, you might be able to get there by noon. It's 9 a.m. as they're on this, but you might be able to get there by noon if you do fast enough.
Right.
But use all your quirks to try to get through this forest. They got to use kicks, and they've got to use ice, and they've got to use all types of things. And it looks like they're generally improving. I mean, they're bodying all these giant mud villains. I don't know. Mm-hmm. These very like Power Ranger movie-esque villains. Let's see. And kind of here's how the summer camp goes. I mean, they eventually reach the summer camp. They're told, oh, the first night you're going to have a great meal. You're going to have the fantastic. We've cooked the best of the best for you.
If somebody says that to you, I'm expecting ribs, steak, baked potatoes, some nice sides. What do they get? What they have to get?
Well, first of all, the first night they get all of that stuff, but immediately after that, they have to cook all their own meals.
They have to cook it all.
Everyone
just one nice
meals. Yes, just And in the day, they're going to do intense training to improve their quirks. Intense training, except for those who fail the finals last semester. Then you got to take remedial
Right,
classes
right.
with Vlad King, and you ain't be able to go outside and
I
truly
like how
test the
we just
mark.
skip over them, you know.
I mean, it's
Like...
unfortunate. So here's the thing. Here's what I always like. It's always My Hero Academia. You always kind of get a shuffle of like who's important, who's going to be pertinent to this arc, and who isn't.
Right.
And you get an opportunity where we just had one. We just had sort of the Camino incidents, which kind of focused very highly on Ida
Mhm.
and all this other stuff. Ida's not really part of this entire thing this
You
time.
know, can I tell you how brilliant I think the storytelling is? Because you don't notice like what you're
Mhm.
explaining right now and what they've done to make sure that you're focused on the right moments and the right characters. To me, is like just really good writing. Some cartoons, animes, they can't really. It's hard for them to do what My Hero has
Right.
done, and that's separate something like, hey, yeah, these characters, this is what they're doing. They basically eliminate those characters into like a subclass of filler almost,
Right.
and then they forefront the people that they want to be known in that moment. I just think it's really good the way that they handle that.
And I think it's mainly because they have so many students. Because
Mm-hmm.
I say, for an instance, a series like Hunter x Hunter, I want Kurapika in every damn arc
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this
yeah,
point.
exactly,
I
exactly.
want him in every arc, but he's not in every arc. And it bothered me the first time I kind of realized it. I was like, wait, he isn't there? He's getting all
Yeah,
these off-screen development
yeah.
behind
You
my
like how
back.
they like, oh yeah, Kropko's going to do this, and
Yeah.
Leorio's going to do this, and
Leorio, we don't see him forever.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
and then he shows up later on. So it's not like those. I think with those, when you have a cast a lot more compact and tight,
Mm-hmm.
you get attached to them very, very easily. But with 20 students, you're still trying to get to know everybody. So you can say, okay, Ida takes a step back.
Yeah.
And now
You don't want us
we're
to
going to
forget
do
about them.
a
Just
lot more with Asui or Yayorozu or Aoyama or something along those lines. You're going to give them at least a moment,
man,
as much as we got going on.
even reading the manga, I can't believe that they've tried to give everyone a really nice moment going forward. Some moments bigger than others,
Mm-hmm.
but everyone does eventually get a nice moment, and I just think that's again one of the reasons why I enjoy the show.
The training is set to be so intense that Mr. Aizawa says you're going to feel like you want to die.
Thanks.
And I'm like, damn, this is
Encouraging.
crazy. That reminds me of essentially pretty much when I did my college orientation and I was oriented into the School of Engineering. They're like, this is the hardest thing you're gonna do in your life. And I was like, yeah, all right, whatever, fuck you.
Right.
It was, but I didn't want you to say that on the first day. Like, it's very unsettling. But also like, fuck you. I don't know what to say.
Right.
But I kind of love, I mean, they're pushing their bodies. We're reminded that quirks are physical abilities, and to be able to kind of improve your physical abilities like muscles, you kind of have to push it to the limit. That's essentially what working out is. You push heavier weight, you're able to push your muscles so much that the fibers kind of break so they can further expand, which is how you strengthen your muscles. And it's the same thing with quirks. So I find it personally hilarious when I see them going through all the various different methods to improve their quirks. Personally, it might be, what is it, Bakugou having to stick his hand in just boiling hot water
Right.
and
Like,
to expand his glands, and essentially Todoroki's like in this pot where he has to maintain the temperature of the pot, so he has to use his hot and his cold and his hot and his
yes, like
cold.
sounds really difficult, but for their course, it makes sense.
Sero is at the top of this like mountain or hill or something, and he just has to shoot tape out of his elbows
Got to be bad for the
forever.
environment. Who's picking that up? Like,
I don't know,
I hope
but
somebody pick that up.
it's just forever. And there's so many different things. Long distance running for Ida. So he has to strengthen her tongue for all this frog different things. Yayorozu has to continue making things while she's eating things, so she's able to make things a lot more quicker instead of taking time. The viscosity of Ashido's acid, she has to improve that. There's a whole bunch of different things. They're working incredibly hard. I mean, they're doing the best that they can.
Yeah.
Remedial training for the students who did not pass the finals. They also, in addition to that, have to do the training where they have to spend all night like doing math problems and all types of other shit. I'm assuming. Let's get to the League of Villains, because while all this summer camp festivities, while all this bug juice is going on, the League of Villains are plotting. They in the shadows, and they've squatted up. They got the. It is now called this sect of the League of Villains. Listen, you when you have a sect of a group, that's when you know you're killing it.
Listen, that's right.
They're 100% rolling deep. I think it's about 10 of them. So they're called the Vanguard Action Squad, recruited by Jiren, who is like, I guess the dealer.
Yeah.
The League of Villains. He's like
the
dealer.
Do you know his quirk? Do you find out in the manga at some point, or is he more just like,
he doesn't really use his quirk. He gets it in the season 5 arc. He's going to be a part of it. I'm not going to say he's a big part of it, but he definitely is a part of it. But I had to look it up online to see what his quirk was.
Right.
Apparently yeah, I had to look it up. He never really uses it unless I'm wild and I've missed it. So let's run through the Vanguard Action Squad, because they're quite a tandem. A lot of them we don't see again.
Okay.
Quite a bit of them we don't see again.
You know the important ones. You can tell.
Yeah. Dabi and Togo, we both know.
That's right.
Yeah. A rank villains, by the way. Rank. I'm gonna list the rank that I found on the fandom.
Oh, okay. So Fandom has them A ranks.
Yeah. No. I think they're probably got it from another resource.
Right.
That ranks these villains, but they've got rankings. Then we have Twice, who is one of them. I think the only S rank villain of the group, which is hilarious because Twice has a completely. I wouldn't even call it. Yeah, that means he's one of the top.
Yeah, one of the top.
I can't say he has bipolar disorder, because it's way more than 2.
So
multiple personality, maybe.
Yeah, like it's a bipolar disorder, but it's extreme. But then his story is really awesome when we get to it. But his copies also have the same things that he has. I understand why he's S rank, because of just his ability, and he's OP. Like, he's extremely OP, although he's kind of handicapped at the same time. So it's cool. But that episode you kind of texted me about, that one, and you're like, yo, when you get to the Twice story, it's great. You're right. It was awesome.
I'll say this, Twice, he's going to be one of those who gets a lot of development throughout the story and as we go on.
Yeah, he's tight. He's tight.
Yeah.
Very Deadpoolish. He's definitely got that Deadpool thing going on.
Oh, yeah. The little humor, of course.
Yeah.
We've got Spinner, who's a C rank villain. His quirk is Gecko. He's a gecko.
Yeah.
But I guess he has just like great fighting abilities, and he has this sword that's made out of like 1,000,000 swords and all this other stuff.
Reminds me of like some Ninja Turtle like villain, like.
Yeah. He's the one driving the car in every sort of thing. He's the one driving the getaway car. He's not someone who's really like dealing damage. You're not going to put him standing up against, Endeavor or anything like that. You're just not going to do that. It was like, Spinner, make sure the car is running at this exact time. Mr. Compress, I like him. Magician, evil magician. We all need one.
His quirk is hard. The personality is funny. The look is funny. But I definitely understand why he's a member.
Yeah, B rank villain, by the way.
B rank. Okay.
We have Magna, transgender woman. First look at a transgender woman. I think honestly, I don't want to say this is my first, because I don't feel like it is.
What, on this series?
No, in anime. I don't want to say it's the first. It's not the first in anime, but it's definitely like,
I believe,
one of the first major ones that I've seen.
Yeah, I believe Killua's sister is trans.
Oh, right.
The youngest,
yeah,
the youngest
You're
one.
right. You're right. You're 100%.
But yeah,
right.
To me, I think it's really, for anime, it's great representation. I think we should see it more. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Magna got magnetism. quirk magnetism, able to add polarity to whoever she kind of wants.
That's fire.
And it is, I think, let's see, men are polarized south and women are polarized north, and she's able to kind of like, magnetize until women are attracted to men, and I guess they hurt themselves, etc.
Yeah.
Muscular, A rank villain.
Muscular.
Muscle augmentation.
Yeah.
He can control the size of his muscles to the point where it fucking breaks his skin.
Yeah, they overlap and get bigger, and it's a strange quirk, but I get it. I get why it works.
Yeah. Muscle guy. He's a muscle. It just is what it is. Mustard is the next one. Mustard is a kid.
Yeah.
He's a C rank villain.
It's like a student of some sort.
Yeah. His quirk is gas. Mm-hmm. It's either a sleeping gas or poison gas. They kind of don't really. It's a gas that makes you go to sleep, but maybe a little bit of poison in it too. They kind of don't really kind of get it over of what it actually is, but it definitely makes you go to sleep, and it definitely, people do not want to inhale it. But
he's a one-trick pony though, for the most part. You know, he's a shooter though.
100%. He's got a gun.
That's all he has.
And the last one is Moonfish, a B rank villain with the quirk Blade Tooth. He's able to make his teeth into blades. Mm-hmm. He's got an interesting look. I really do like his look.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool design for sure.
Yeah.
The teeth kind of coming out to be what he's standing on, and it's cool. It's cool.
He's wrapped up. He's completely kind of concealed.
Yeah,
and
big temper.
I don't know. Yeah, in a wrap or something along those lines. He's dangerous. He's 100% dangerous. And then they've also got a normal on them, just in case.
Gotta keep it normal. Keep it normal at 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. So they've got a squad. It's like, oh, there's 40 students. All right, let's make sure. A much better squad than the season 1 squad. So much that, Shigaraki is like, I don't need to go with them this time. They're much better without me. I don't need to get sliced in the face or burned with some ice or something along those lines. I don't need that right now. I just need to kind of get my thoughts together. Class 1A and Class 1B, they're doing a exercise in the forest where Class 1B has to scare Class 1A, who's moving in pairs. And that's when shit goes belly up 100%. There's a gas attack in the forest. There's fire raging in the forest. And Magni, comes out and bodies Pixie Bob.
Yeah.
And that is where everything that could go wrong absolutely begins to go wrong.
Yeah, that was it.
Shit 100% turns up to a new level, and it gets crazy. Oh my God. There's so many things going on. And first of all, I love this. I just love the intensity and kind of the action and kind of it's a great build.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great use of all of the students and a great use of all of the villains, and it put this in this highly dangerous situation where there's so much. It's not a gradual like villain show up, we start kicking villains' ass. It's like they're not even able to use their quirks.
They build it up.
What's going on? Where's Coda? Who's there? Why are these students there? We don't have any teachers. Why don't we have a phone? Like so many things are going on.
Stuff, yeah, it was the worst case scenario.
100% the worst case scenario. So the kids are already in the forest. There's been several pairs and people that are already in the forest. So they're fending for their lives. Some of them have already been knocked out with the gas, unfortunately. Tiger and Mandalay are fighting Magna and Spinner in front of the training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Aizawa gets ambushed by, a seemingly Dabi. Dabi shows up. I mean, Aizawa
looks like Dabi.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go see what happens and maybe stop some quirks while they're happening.
Right. Literally.
And Dabi shows up like, got you. Everyone is able to anticipate Mr. Aizawa. I think his quirk, I gotta look up if he's like he should be, I don't know. I don't want to say he should be higher. He's a teacher in terms of like the ranking of heroes and stuff like that, because he kind of just does his own thing.
It appears everyone knows about him. So like he extremely popular, although, which I thought was weird, because when Deku first realized who he was, he said, I know you, you're so-and-so, but they also played it off as a mystery. But at the same time, the villains are always aware of him. He's the first person they want to,
we got to get him out the way because he can stop our quirks.
Yeah, why is my quirk not working? Eraserhead here? It's like, So he is a little, they know about him. So I guess I understand the rank as far as being a fighter.
Dabby ambushes him with fire. Luckily, as I was able to move out of the way because he's got like these extra cat-like abilities, and he's able to like flip in the air and body a person, and a knee and neck, and arm breaking, and all this other extra shit. And then he finds out it's a double created by you know, by twice. So
Right.
you win some, you lose some. There's so many things going on. There's so many fights, so many different sequences kind of going on that it's all building up towards. I would say that probably the best way we can go about talking about this is we kind of like separate them into their own kind of things.
Yeah.
Because each of them tell a story, and quite possibly the biggest story itself is Deku versus Muscular, where
Man.
Deku is saving the kid named Koda. And in terms of the backstory of Koda, fair backstory. I think it's a good
It's really nice.
It's a nice one that say maybe not everyone's, just because of base off. They use heavily past experiences to kind of show like why these characters are the way they are.
Right.
And Koda is the cousin of Mandalay, who doesn't believe nor support heroes because both his parents were killed trying to save, people from a villain. And if his parents were not heroes, he would not have lost his parents. So he's like,
it's gonna feel
he is get out my face. Like,
yeah.
I know my cousin is a hero. I support her, but I don't really like heroes, etc., etc. Now, coincidentally,
his feelings are fair. His feelings are fair.
Yeah. Coincidentally enough, the villain that killed his parents is the one who manages to find him in this very arbitrary place in the mountain.
How do you feel about that? I thought it was a bit weird to connect it. I think it works because that's just the situation we're in, but I don't know, what are the odds, right?
I think it had to be, I don't want to say, because it's really like, what are the odds?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they play it off as like a major coincidence.
But
I have to feel like with the intel that they've got,
you're the one.
Yeah. It's like I would have to think that with the intel they got, they kind of known everybody who was going to be there. Like, who are going to be there? Oh, Koda with the parents that are, oh, let's make sure to get Muscular on the scene. So, really scare him, and we really, do all this other stuff like that. But it's played off as a coincidence. So none of that actually happens. So Koda's in a spot, and we find out, Deku eventually reaches there. He's got a cell phone. He's trying to pull the old Camino Ward trick where he's like, yo, let me text him from behind my back, and this is my location. And then his phone breaks, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Crack screen.
Guess this is it. Guess I gotta do this on my own. Here we go.
Completely. He's not even given authority to use his powers yet.
Oh,
he's just like, yo.
He does it.
What would All Might do? WWAD.
That's his go-to right there.
Manages to stall for time, and Muscular reveals that they're looking for Bakugou, Katsuki Bakugou. And they're like, why are they looking for Bakugou? Oh my god, they want to kidnap Bakugou. I gotta tell him. And in this entire sequence, we get Muscular versus Deku. Deku initially, first couple of attacks, doesn't really lay anything into it because he's going super soft. He's like, yo, I don't really want to break my arms anymore. But once he sees the threat that Muscular is, he's like, yo, I have to go 100% times 1,000 to be able to beat this guy. And he goes like full.
He goes full.
He goes, I say full Hercules in that Disney movie. That's what I'm saying. And with reckless abandon, like, forget his arms, forget everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to get to the point where he has to save Koda. And there is a moment where Muscular gets the advantage on Deku, and it's like, damn, he's really like strong as hell. He's living up to the title of an A-rank villain. He is really putting it on this rookie, and Koda comes out.
Dick too.
Yeah.
He really is, dude. He's a dick, bro.
And Koda like splashes him with water, which I thought, okay, so we discussed this. I was like, was there a bucket or something?
I thought he was peeing on him, man. That weak ass scream.
That
Like, am I
would
like?
have been definitely Dragon Ball esque.
I know, right? But it was funny to me that like Muscular even noticed. Like the fact that he even noticed to me was really, really, really funny. So, but
You
yeah,
think it
I
can
get it.
control whether it's hot or cold water?
Come on, man. I mean, I'm assuming it's cold always, man.
He's just like, damn, that's hot. Like that's what I
Yeah.
would imagine. Like if it's cold water, I might feel refreshed, but something like that. It didn't even hit me that I was like, yes, he is the son of the
Right, right.
water villains.
This
So
makes
of
sense.
course he would obtain this quirk with his water gun, where he's able to squirt, splash water, shoot
Yeah.
water, something along those lines. Um, so it's enough to distract it, where Deku pretty much says, "Listen, I've got to summon everything I got. I've got to win by any means necessary." And he screams out,
Mm.
1,000,000%.
1
Now,
million percent. Now he screamed it out. That doesn't mean that's where he was.
no, so I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, we're both on the same thing with that. Then.
There's no way 1,000,000% is not an actual number. It's
Yeah.
far from an actual number.
Me and Meelz are being super analytical with this because there's just no way.
Yeah, because I was just like 1,000,000%. All right, well, I mean, if you
Whatever.
believe so. So it's the 1,000,000% Delaware Detroit smash. It's his ultimate move.
Yeah.
It's the biggest move ever. It gets a whole sequence of like this little comet.
Yeah. Oh, it was the design of it was brilliant. They killed it. It was awesome to watch.
I love because we don't see it often. We don't really see 100% often. Not anymore, at least. I mean, because of what happens later in this. But Deku manages to defeat Muscular. Unfortunately, he has lost both arms in this, but the adrenaline's running.
Right.
He's good. He's in the third quarter. There's 1 minute left. He's trying to, he's like, I'm trying to finish out this game very, very strong. I'm amped. I'm ready. I got adrenaline. What we doing next? Where we going next? Coda, jump on my back. He knows what's climbing down the side of a mountain.
Yeah. Let's go. We got to go right now.
I got legs to use one for all in. Like, come on. You think I need arms to use one for all? I got all appendages, baby. Come on. Have you seen me use it in my cheek before? Like, right. Like I can use one for all at any time, bro. So Deku grabs Coda. He heads towards camp. He runs into Mr. Aizawa. He's talking at a mile a minute. Mr. Aizawa's like, yo, what are you doing? Deku, you look hurt. Like, you need to get to the camp. You need to get nursed. Like, your arms are fucking crazy right now. He's running around with 2 broken arms and no shirt. And Mr. Aizawa is just very concerned. And Deku lets him know, like, listen, tell Mandalay to let everyone know that they're after Bakugou. And eventually she does. Let's get to the next one. A little Class 1B action.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Nice. Very rare. Cool. I'm okay with it. Listen, I'm okay with it in this situation.
Our good friend Tetsu gets some action in. And, of course, Itsuka, I want to say that's how you pronounce her name. No. It's... Itsuka? I don't know. Itsuka.
I think when they...
You don't say.
I think when they... What?
Spanish, sorry.
Oh man, my hero.
Versus Mustard, the poison gas is in the forest. It becomes a lot more potent. They have gas masks because of Momo Yaoyorozu. Quick thinking. Let me produce some gas mask real quick.
That's my dog.
Always. And hands them out to the people who are conscious. For going to do her own thing. But Tetsu and Itsuka, they ambush Mustard and attempt to get close. And then they realize, oh shit, he has a gun.
Right.
Which is the wildest shit ever. Like, kids with guns and also fighting against a person with a gun. It couldn't be me, but they also have quirks. One that makes a body. Right, and Tetsu's taking these shots. He's trying to eat these shots.
He got hit in the head a few times, man.
Yeah, he was like, listen, I'm lucky that I can harden up, but I can't. The chance that Itsuka could get hit by this, but she, who is essentially, I would say, the the Momo, the Yayorozu of Class 1B. I mean, they
Mhm.
kind of have a similar sort of tale story thing. She's one who
Right.
also uses her brain and kind of gets everyone in in order a little bit. And she
Mhm.
uses her quirk to make her massive hands. Her quirk is like massive hands. That's her quirk. She's able to make her hands massive or smaller or
That's
anything
cool.
like that. Um, and slap boxes crazy. Mustard ends up slapping him real quick that he's able to get the jump on him, and then she uses her massive hands to create some sort of like this whirlwind sort of deal to knock a little bit of the gas out the way, which gives Tetsu enough of an opening to land the final punch on Mustard that breaks his helmet and completely knocks him out. It is crazy. It is amazing. I
Very tight.
love it. I love it for
Great
Class 1B,
teamwork there.
which it's 100% great teamwork. Back to Class 1A though,
Back to
because
class 1A.
Deku finds Shoji, who's lost one of his many removable limbs. I mean, Shoji looks crazy. Shoji's like,
Bro.
Get over here. Yo, no, shut up.
I'm so glad you I'm so glad you said this because he was out of control.
He's like, yo, chill. Dark Shadow's wilding right now.
Don't come close to me.
Dark Shadow of Tokoyami has gone berserk. They were trying to go up against Moonfish. Moonfish manages to slice off it's just teeth. He manages to slice up one of these things, and Dark Shadow goes completely berserk. It is the Broly version of Dark Shadow, where he cannot control it at all. And now Dark Shadow is like wreaking havoc on everything that it sees and is uncontrollable, and it's dark outside, so it's nothing that Tokoyami could do, and he's just like, save me, please. And I'm like, damn, I feel bad for him. But Deku, who running on adrenaline and no arms and no shirt, still has enough wherewithal to devise a plan where they say, let's kill two birds with one stone. And if we're gonna have Dark Shadow practically kill Moonfish. I mean, they knock all the man's teeth out. Like he is all gums from here on out. They are like, we gotta get him out of here. So they end up finding the most two appropriate heroes for this, which is Todoroki and Bakugou. Who Bakugou knows they're after him, and it was like, yo, bring him on. Like,
he's gonna give a fuck. Hey,
I fight him. Listen,
come on, man.
He's wearing like carrot cut pants with his ankles showing and shit like that, and Tom's probably, and he's just like, yo, bring him on. This is what I've been waiting for. You want me? You're gonna have to fight to get me. But they use their quirk after Tokoyami kills. I won't say kill. Maims Moonfish, deteeths him, makes him a applesauce eating lover for the rest of his life, and they use their quirk to manage to subside the beast that is running free in Dark Shadow. To which Bakugou says, my quirk outbests yours again. No, he says again, you're still no match for my quirk, and it's just like
whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever,
Go
bro.
away. Go away. And they decide we're gonna protect Bakugou, and Bakugou's like, you can't protect. I'm like, you don't need to protect me. Jump to the next fight: Uraraka and Asui versus Toga. It's ladies' night.
Yeah, Toga. I love this scene.
Listen, Asui and Toga. Asui and Uraraka versus Toga. Imagine all right. So I've bitten my tongue quite a few times in life. Imagine getting your tongue sliced by a knife.
Nah, bro.
And how much pain that must be in.
So bad.
When the wind touches your wound, and it's just like, damn, this shit stings.
It's the worst.
Toga manages to capture Asui. She's trying to stab her with a knife, get a real stabby action. Uraraka comes from behind. Toga tries to get the stab in on Uraraka. Uraraka uses her gunhead action techniques where she grabs the hand, grabs behind the neck, uses the momentum, slams them down. Listen, I'm using that move. I might use that move. Who knows? But, she manages to get the jump on them, and then Toga You
Toga.
smell like,
Mm-hmm.
someone. You smell
Yeah.
like someone that you love is also someone that you admire.
She's the sweetest.
Oh
She's
my
the best,
god.
man. She's the
And then
best.
she grabs her needle and like jams it in her thigh and starts taking her blood. And I'm like, damn, that must suck.
Yeah.
And then all of Class 1A shows up and she's like, yeah, I'm not trying to be killed today. Let's get out of here. They all at this point they all meet up and they're like, okay, we're in a convoy right now. We're trying to save Bakugou right now.
Yeah.
Do you want, come along with us, help us protect Bakugou? To which Asui and Uraka are like, where's Bakugou? And then the big moment, dun dun dun. It's so cliche, but it's so apropos.
But it was the right way.
Yeah, dun dun dun. Not only have they lost Bakugou, also to me, not even realizing it, they also lost Tokoyami, who Mr. Compress decided, oh, his dark shadows
That shit hard.
bodying people. You need that. I need that. I need that right there. I might get a raise if
For real.
Mr. One for All decides he needs a dark shadow.
It's over.
Yeah. And Mr. Compress lets the team know, the Vanguard Action Squad, listen, we got Bakugou. Let's head out. Let's meet up. Let's rendezvous back at the campsite and let's head out there. And Nomu is also there. It's shown that he has knocked out Momo. And Awase from Class 1B is trying to like get out of here. But then as soon as the chainsaw Nomu is attempting to like deal the final blow, he's called back because Dabi calls him back and says, listen, we're ready to go. Nomu out. And the Nobu's like, blah, 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 or something along those lines.
Word.
and he's just like, we're out of here. Let's see. I love this final thing. I love this final part because it's such a mad dash and a mad scramble, and it's a lot of chaos and it's a lot of like moving parts and a whole bunch of other things. So, Deku, Shoto, and Shoji are launched in the sky by Asui and Uraraka because they have to pretty much grab Mr. Compress, who's like jumping from tree to tree. So they manage to like launch himself. They get into him. They manage to slam him down on the ground. They meet up at the campsite. Everyone's at the campsite from now on. And now it's currently a mad dash. Now they're trying to steal back their classmates. And Shoji, with his many arms and many appendages, manages to get two and then finds out they're not really the ones. And Mr. Compress is truly a magician and a jack of all trades.
Like he doesn't look like one. Like you should trust him, right? Like look at him. He's like,
oh, you pickpocketed him and found out it wasn't the right one. To which Mr. Compress says, I'm not gonna keep it in my pocket. Are you insane? To which he pulls his mask off and he's got like two marbles in his tongue, and I'm like, yeah.
That's the picture that's the picture we had a good laugh with last night.
Listen, very, very freaky.
Very.
Here we go. Listen, I'm talking about. Listen, a little bit of a. Could I compare this to Ray Allen performance? Where it come out of nowhere with the corner three.
It was a big. I mean, if you're trying to get this mission done, and you think, hey, no matter what, I got this, but let me go ahead and pull something out of my hat. No pun intended. Just in case. He was definitely the MVP of this mission because he came through. He came through.
Well, I was actually referencing Aoyama, who with the naval laser comes from the corner.
That's who you were?
The corner three.
You know how
with the naval laser.
You know how I feel about the naval laser, man. I don't know, man. It was a successful situation, but I mean,
shot him in his mouth. Hose man was like,
Bakugou still. I know, right? This is disgusting. But Bakugou still, they still got him. He was disgusted by that. Oh, gross.
This tastes like belly button.
Oh man.
So the marbles go flying out his mouth. And one of my favorite parts, because it's Deku, Shoju, and Shoji and Todoroki who are diving for the marbles, And at some point, Deku realizes that both his arms are broken. So, like, immediately a pain jolts in his arms, and he just starts rolling on the ground because he's just like. And Shoji manages to grab one. Todoroki tries to grab one, but Dabi and Todoroki. That's a sight to see.
Yeah, it is because of what you've told me a few weeks ago.
Well, listen, this is all suspicion. Nothing has been revealed as of yet, but it just is what it is. Dabi manages to grab the other. He tells Mr. Compress, undo the. Meanwhile, by the way, I actually forgot to mention this. Kurogiri is back, and he's like, "Yo, It's been 5 minutes since he made the call. Everyone warp home."
Oh my god!
He's just like, warp home. Everyone warp home. Listen, it's been 5 minutes. You guys have been dilly-dallying. We've lost way too many of you at this point. We're warping home. So he's warping everybody back, and Dabi tells Mr. Compress, listen, we need to confirm that we have the right one. Undo the thing. They undo the thing. It is indeed Bakugou. Bakugou gets a hand to his neck, and he gets dragged through the warp villain's warp gate. And Deku tries his best. No arms and all. His arms have actually been burned by Dabi at some point.
Stay back, Deku.
Right. Stay back, Deku.
Like, yeah, why, bro? Like,
he runs, tries to. The warp villain is gone. The warp is gone. Deku takes a tumble, probably goes face first into the ground. And it is over with. The League of Villains, the Vanguard Action Squad.
Mission complete. They tried mission was extra, they try to get somebody as well, an extra person to bring back, but the main mission has been complete.
100%. It is incredible how they've managed to get away with this. Bakugou is now in the hands of the League of Villains. They managed to steal a kid. You know how dangerous that is.
They managed to
go to summer camp. I mean, yes, kidnap him.
This is why we didn't go to summer camp when we were younger.
This is why you sign permission slips, because for instances like this, where it's like we're not liable if your kid gets kidnapped, but maybe a little bit. But Bakugou's kidnapped. Summer camp. There's a kid missing. First of all, there are kids missing. There's kids unconscious. There are kids with arms that are broken. There are kids with limbs that are taken out.
There's to the head.
All this other stuff. There's so much destruction.
Koda
a counselor got kidnapped as well. We still don't know where the counselor is at this point. Poor what's her name? Ragdoll. Truly got ragdoll. She got a shot to the head, and we haven't seen her since. And that is kind of where we'll end here. We still have so much to cover, at least for season 3 of My Hero Academia. And this is one of the best kind of parts of this entire series, because it starts off with a bang and it continues with a bang for a majority of the season. And in this next part, I mean, it's the search for Bakugou. Everyone's on. The ops are involved. All Might's involved. The heroes are involved. Vanguard Action Squad's involved.
It's getting deep.
Deku gets involved. Yeah, well, despite being in a coma for multiple days, he's like, as soon as he's out the coma, he's like, yeah, we got to save Bakugou. Where's Bakugou? But with that said, yeah, we've got a lot more to offer. Thank you guys for listening.
Yes.
To this episode of the Lookout Podcast. If you want to subscribe, which you should, because we're doing this entire week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're getting a lot of My Hero Academia content. So make sure you stay subscribed and stay ready, because we got a whole bunch of us, coming. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff coming down the pipeline. So make sure you follow the Lookout RNC on Twitter. Make sure you follow the Lookout RNC on Instagram. Make sure you follow the Lookout on RNC Radio on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Stitcher. Everywhere where you can find podcasts, you can find this podcast. And we're going to do this day for day, day in and day out. You can catch up. You can binge it. You can do whatever you want. No matter.
We'll be here.
You're going to be here. With that said, my friend, we will see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Lookout Podcast. Take care, guys.